Hello and welcome to another edition of Mailbag. What is Mailbag? Well, Mailbag is a feature of the channel where you guys leave lots of comments on the channel and I attempt to answer those comments, or if I can't answer those comments, I throw it out to you guys who have more knowledge on some of this stuff than I do. So let's get into the first mailbag of this session. Remember, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Go over to Instagram and follow me there. Go over to Facebook, follow me there. That's where the normal notices are. And consider becoming a Patreon. This next comment comes from XP50 Player in response to what makes Zencore favourable, a video I did in May 2022. The best reason to get hold of an old FA series Fantom is the linear sequencer, which none of the other new models have. The full Fantom 2019 stores and loads all of the 15 available PCM expansions simultaneously versus only 2 software slots in the FA and 4 in the Integra 7. Zencore encompasses all the previous Supernatural Synth and PCM in a single patch structure. I wouldn't say it's appreciably better, other than portability of tones between Roland's most recent products. And then you have these new model expansions, unique VA synth engines. The disadvantage, or the advantage of the new Zencore key-based keyboards is mainly the specs. You have touch screens, more USB audio channels, more polyphony input selections with its own effects chain and vocoder, user multi-sampling and sound font input, better organ engine and far fewer supernatural acoustic tones, i.e. no V-drums, and only a pattern clip-based sequencer. Now I get the distinct impression that Roland haven't finished with the Fantom yet. I think there's more to come in this product line, if I'm honest. As you say, the sound layering allows a lot more expression to be released from a single keyboard interaction. Far more than previous products, and really taking aim at boards from other manufacturers. They have previously provided a keyboard with good specification that can potentially be expanded in the future. Let's hope that is what they actually do and don't abandon the platform like Roland have in the past, shall we say. As I always say, you learn something new every day. I didn't realise the new Fantom sacrificed the linear sequencing in favour of this step design. Do you learn something new? Next comment question comes from Classic Arcade and Amusement Park Videos. And this was in response to the Oberheim apology and Anderton's Gets a UBXA video of rant I did in May 2022. And Classic writes, I feel rich synth collectors have greatly overinflated the values of classic synths. I couldn't agree with you more on that. And the new OBM X8 is cashing in on that market rather than trying to appeal to a wider market for the synth down a more down-to-earth price that they could have targeted. Then again, this is generally what Dave Smith keyboards have targeted over the past several years. Is the OBX8 worth that much? When comparing to the prices of vintage OBX or OBX, OBXA or OB8, prices have soared on these machines instruments over the last few years. I would probably consider the OBX series my favourite synths of all time. The fact that the OBX8 includes all the functionality of the OBX, the OBXA and the OB8 includes all the presets and is even compatible with the original sound collections for these keyboards if someone has them on cassette, does make the OBX8 worth that much when compared to the vintage classics to the average person. In simple terms, no. If I were loaded, would I buy an OBX8? For sure. But the fact that, like most people, I'm not. I'm perfectly happy with the software models. I came very close to buying an OB8 in the mid-90s for $1,200. but with its wide case it did not fit in the trunk. I quickly realised how awkward it would be for the purpose of gigging in my 80s cover band. Although for eye candy as a stage prop it would have looked absolutely awesome. I also knew that with soft synths coming out, it was only a matter of time before the sounds of this keyboard could be closely matched with a software synth. And now we have fully modelled VSTs of the OBX, the OBXA, Oberheim's 8-voice, SEM module and Matrix 12. Plus, on a single laptop, a band could have all of them at once at a gig and minimal hassle transporting them, maintaining them, and infinitely cheaper than the originals in hardware. What I'd like to see is an official Oberheim OBX8 VST made by Tom, Marcus and the staff at the new Oberheim Sequential Focusrite company. Tom and Marcus were so impressed by the GeForce Oberheim 8-voice VST that they called the company and asked to be involved in further improve the product. They granted, and as a result, version 2 of this product in 2022, a promo video of Tom and Marcus engineering the original Oberheim made the video saying how impressed they were with this software version. The fact that they could have just worked on software synths gives me hope that perhaps they could make one of their new keyboard, and ideally it would be made with SysX compatibility to import the original patches from the OBX, the OBXA and the OB8, and also include all 700 factory presets of the series, like the new OBX8 keyboard hardware. While some would argue it's not an analog synth, and this may be true, it could still get very close, and plenty close enough to be loved by a lot of people and sold for under $200. Well, there are some compelling arguments in those statements that were made by Classic Arcade. Why you're not buying the Oberheim X8, and a great argument for the Oberheim X8 VST. Personally, I haven't gigged in years, and if I did I would struggle to limit myself to just a few synths. That's probably one of my biggest problems. But you say you decided not to buy the OBX8 for gigging. Would you buy one or two? Sorry, I got that wrong. But you said you wanted to buy it for gigging. Would you buy one or two? Another interesting point is Dave Smith has sold Sequential to Focusrite a few years back, and we know the engineers from Sequential helped design the new Oberheim. But what is the relationship between the new companies? With Tom being in his 80s, could Oberheim become another Focusrite van? So, yeah, I do wonder whether Focusrite will, now Tom's got the name back, whether there will be a few releases and then Focusrite might acquire Oberheim. Maybe they already own Oberheim. We don't know.